Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Hey, I want to talk to you about Audible. Audible lets you enjoy all your audio entertainment in one app. You'll always find the best of what you love or something new to discover.
Audible offers incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre, from bestsellers and new releases to celebrity memoirs, mysteries and thrillers, motivation, wellness, business. Look, my personal favorite is motivation, so I've always got my Audible app fired up.
Right now, I'm reading The Plot. Although by this reading, I should say I'm listening to it on Audible.
The Audible app makes it easy to listen anytime, anywhere, while traveling, working out, walking, doing chores. You decide.
Try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
Even the Rich is a podcast from Wondery that tells the jaw-dropping stories about the tumultuous lives of the world's elite. From the greatest family dynasties to pop culture superstars.
Listen to Even the Rich on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts.
Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens, crappens, crappens. Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I am Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the one and only Ronnie Karam. Hey, Ronnie, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
Great, thank you.
Great, good to hear it.
Yeah, so glad to talk to you today because we're doing some Top Chef. So excited. Little Top Chef action. Such a good season. Such a good, great season. Before we dive into that, if you like us, if you love us, if you just want to make us happy, come see us on the road. We're going to Toronto and we're going to Philadelphia next week. Toronto sold out, so unfortunately you will not be able to get a ticket there. But Philadelphia still has plenty of tickets. It's a big show. We haven't decided yet what we're going to recap on either show, but we'll probably have an update about that very soon. So go to watchwhatcrappens.com to get your tickets. And then in May, we're going to New York and DC for 2 more epically large shows. And then in June, we're going to wrap up the tour. We're doing, I think, 3 weekends in a row. We're doing a lot of, we're going to Chicago. We're going to Columbus. We're going to San Diego and several others. I don't have the schedule in front of me. Okay. You know what? You don't have to worry about it too much right now, but go to watchwhatcrappens.com and you can see the full tour there. You can sign up and join. Also go to patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens and you can listen to our weekly bonus episode. This week's bonus episode was all about Tom Schwartz being on Watch What Happens Live, and it was such a big epic bonus episode that we released it on the main feed, which is fun. So there's gonna be Crappens on demand up there where you can watch us record, not just listen, all that fun stuff. So go to patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. And Ronnie, anything to add to that? Anything to add to the spiel? Ronnie was on 2 podcasts this week, so go check those out.
Oh, yeah, I was on Malls' podcast, Mother May I Sleep With Podcast, it's called. So go check that out. If you're looking on Twitter, just go to @Malls. I mean, Twitter, I guess, works too, but Instagram. Look at @Malls or Mother May I Sleep With Danger. MMISLD on Instagram, or just look for that on do it in your head. I'm an idiot, but or look for that on wherever you get podcasts. And She Speaks Bravo with Emily, who's fantastic, new friend, and that was a real girls trip recap, so go check that out. You can find her on YouTube, you can find her on Instagram. I find her on Instagram. That's where I find all of her stuff. Wow. And that is She Speaks Bravo. Okay, and she's great.
Yeah, and you can find us on Instagram too at what crappens. Ronnie's at Ronnie Karam, and I'm at Ben Mandelker. So come join us.
Let's do it. Well, guys, what a day. I love Top Chef season because Ben and I both, I can speak for us both when I say we start cooking so much more from watching this show about cooking. I've been cooking my little head off, and since I have to get healthy by order of the doctor at the emergency room, I am like healthing it up. So I'm back to watching vegan video. Now I'm not vegan, so all you vegans don't start emailing me. You're like, Betty's not vegan, stupid. I know. I'm not vegan. I'm watching the vegan videos because I really like a lot of vegan food. I love how they just attack the vegetable and do it in so many different ways and teach you just so many different healthy ways to eat. I meal prepped yesterday for 4 hours and it was fucking amazing. I was massaging kale. I was baking sweet potatoes. I was doing a black bean sofritos. I make cabbage steaks and a cabbage sauce, which sounds disgusting, but was actually delicious.
Cabbage sauce? I'm intrigued.
Parsley pesto. I mean, I
made one of those recently.
Baking nuts and like toasting different nuts with different spices and flavors. And I bought all these new spices. Wow, thanks Top Chef for bringing that shit back into my life.
But guess what, Ronnie? You're still not famous. Sorry.
Enjoy being a home cook on the Food Network. Stupid.
You know who would make a great vegan is Padma. Because she could spend all her time saying, I'm sorry, is there butter in this? Did you mean to put dairy into your vegan food?
She does, because she has, and I'm not saying vegans are all self-righteous, but, you know, there's that stereotypical thing of like, I'm better than you because I'm vegan. Or like, you'll know when someone's a vegan because they'll tell you 20 times a minute. Yeah. And Padma would really pull that part of it off, right? Where she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you mean to slaughter an innocent life for this dish?
Well, being a vegan, like part and parcel with that is having to ask what's in your dish to make sure it's still okay. And like, don't give Padma an excuse to ask what's in the dish. Excuse me, waiter. Is there chicken stock in here? Oh, is there non-famous stock in here? Because that's what this feels like in here. A restaurant full of non-famous people serving shitty food. Sorry.
The only chicken stock I'll eat is Chicken Run stock because that was actually a very popular film.
It's actually a wonderful film, and my dear friend Michiko Kakutani loves it. It's on her top 10 movies of all time. So it's on mine too.
So we start this at the... First of all, I'm still very upset that Luciana had to go. Okay, love her. Yeah. And still not over it. Okay, I miss her beautiful smile. So here we are, starting off at the Chef's Hotel.
Sharing that moment. Thank you for that eulogy. Thank you.
I miss her. Okay, and I just saw in my previouslys that she's gone, and it made me sad. So we're at the Chef's Hotel, and Charbel is getting...
I just want to say, the world's oldest Kimpton. They showed the exterior of this hotel. It was like... And it said, there's a little sign that said Kimpton. And I was like, this is like the world. This looked like it was built in 300 BC, this building. And I just have to say, it's the oldest Kimpton, and I would like to stay there. Continue.
I don't, because Kimpton has been okay. Ben loves, I almost called you Ken. Ben loves a Kimpton. I kind of do, but not really, because their older ones suck. They suck. They wouldn't let us check in one time. I think twice they didn't let us check in. Then one, my door wouldn't open. They had to literally saw through my door, and it took 2 hours after we got back from a show at like midnight. I was drunk. I couldn't get in. I was so upset. Then they left me in a room filled with a sawed-in door and sawdust all over the place.
This is a true story.
Yeah.
I love a Kimpton. I'm also starting to really enjoy the Canvas Hotel. Is it like Canvas by like Hilton or something like that, or by Hyatt, whatever the Canvas brand is. Really doing great work. I'm like, Canvas may be overtaking Kimpton. I mean, which is crazy to say, but I just want to announce that.
Okay, so just for this show, Victoire. Let's talk about Victoire. So, probably the cutest person who's been on here in a while. Like, really, her personality, like,
she's adorable.
The shit that... Okay, second of all, are they trying to make us think she's going home? Because she's doing the phone call of doom. They keep giving her these edits this episode that make it look like she's going home. Third, has anybody been through more shit in their life than this woman? Okay, listen to her. This is what she's been through. She calls her husband. His name is Simulin. They have 2 kids. And she talks about how it's tough, but she's happy. And she says, when I went to culinary school, I didn't have a house. I was homeless. I had lunch or dinner in the trash from McDonald's. But now I have a house and my family. Cooking saved my life. What the hell? You just give her the damn award right now. Give it to her. Give her the golden fucking, what do you call the thing that you roll out dough with?
Gail's arm. Can someone borrow Gail's arm? It's always
Rolling
sort of
pin.
buttery.
Give her the golden rolling pin. God damn it.
Yeah, normally I cringe when people say cooking saved my life on the show because they always say it. They're like, I was 16 and I was living in the gutter. And then one day, Michael Mina himself pulled me out of the gutter and said, here, kid, here's an apron. And cooking saved my life. They always do that. And I was like, oh, great, another cooking saved my life story. But Victoire's was really good. That was a good
because
cooking saved my
Victoire,
life.
like, you add all her stories together, you're like, holy shit, woman. Like, she moved from the Congo to Italy where everybody was racist and wouldn't give her a chance. Plus, she's a woman in the kitchen. Then you find out that she was homeless in culinary school and eating out of the trash at McDonald's. Like, wasn't even taking shit from school, which I would be doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, no, her school closed. She said her school closed, which is why she had to do that.
Oh,
and
for fuck's sake.
But yeah, I was worried. I thought she got the phone call of death. So usually the phone call of death means you either are going home or you might win something, but usually you're going to go home. So I was like, I think she's going to go home. And also, let's not forget that this woman risked her life for this show with that that nut allergy that she had last week. So she's really giving herself everything.
And I think does it again today because she's walking around with a mask today. So they're all leaving for the day, and there's, of course, majestic music as they enter through the clock. And Padma's doing this thing today where she's like, look at me, I'm such a bubbly person, which I do not like this side of Padma.
Yeah.
It's like the least believable side of her, but she uses a really high voice. She's like, good morning, chef.
I noticed that. I was like, who's speaking? Who's doing the ADR on Padma?
Yeah, was Padma trying to like change her Q rating? Like, what the fuck's going on with Padma today? She's like, I want to appeal to more of a filings basement type of crowd. Hi, chefs.
So all the chefs come in. They see a bunch of beer, and they see jam, and they see honey. Hi, chefs. Oh, you look good, everyone. Just kidding. You look terrible. How are you feeling, Victoire? Oh, I'm sorry. Ravioli Roberto Benigni. Exacto. I lived in Italy once.
So how are you feeling, Victoire? Most of us pay a lot of money to have faces that swell up like that. Congratulations on your food allergy. Chefs, I'd like to introduce the guest judge, Michelin star winner for tackiest cotton golf shirt under a blazer, but he gets by with it because he's tall and white, Adam Handling.
Welcome, Adam. So Adam's like, thanks very much. The food I had at Kew Gardens was pretty special, and I'm excited to see what's to come. Great. Thanks for sharing that, stupid. Chefs.
Guess what? I'm not excited to see what's to come, so keep it in your pants. Is there anybody more ready for the Me Too train than someone with the last name of Handling? Keep it to yourself, stupid.
Chefs, as you can see, things are about to get sticky. You'll be combing Gail's hair.
I just did it again right next to Adam. Sorry, Adam.
Known to be the world's oldest alcoholic beverage, Gail drank all of it. Anyway.
Mead, everybody. Something you normally only hear about in video games. Mead was known as the nectar of the gods in ancient Roman times. Mead is also what was given to newly married couples to continue the toasting for one cycle of the moon, hence the term honeymoon. And while we call Gail's honeymoon the bread moon, because that's literally what Gail ate every day since she's been married. Pure bread.
Gail had a wonderful honeymoon. Instead of toasting to the moon with mead, though, she just raised a bunch of bundt cakes up to the sky every single night.
Wow, Gail. Hope you had a great carby moon.
So Adam's like, well, not only is honey the key ingredient in mead making, it's also the key ingredient in cooking. Oh, thanks, dum-dum. Thanks for explaining honey to us. Never heard of this exotic ingredient before.
Otherwise known as bee shit. So we want you to make a celebratory dish celebrating mead and honey. Think of those life milestones you want a dish to help you celebrate. Like when Sarah paid off her first front tooth. Or when Buddha graduated from fancy-pantsy tweel school. You have 30 minutes. Time starts now.
if you need other ideas, how about this? How about you think about the first time you went to Paris, and we can celebrate that. Right, Sarah? Right?
Sarah's going to make a dish based on yesterday.
Let's celebrate the first time Sarah fished her harmonica out of the well.
The first time Sarah saw an actual working automobile. Sarah.
The first time Sarah didn't ruin dueling banjos by singing along. It has no lyrics, Sarah.
You know those big moments, like weddings, like the first time Sarah saw someone get married who wasn't related to each other.
Celebrating the first time Sarah didn't pull up a bunch of weeds from her dead crops and serve them for dinner.
So Victoria's like, Quickfire is like the jungle. You have to grab your food like, roar!
Oh, it's like Gail at the Golden Corral.
Have you ever tried taking candy from a Gale bee? That's what Victoria sounded like right now.
A Gail bee?
So Lisa's like, well, I've been mead drunk before, but that's usually sweet for me. Of course, fucking Lisa has been mead drunk. Oh, wait, I'm thinking of Sarah. Who's Lisa? I must have been Sarah.
Lisa, I don't know who you are, but get the hell out of our show. Please welcome your guest judge, Lisa and the Cult Jam. Hi, welcome.
That figures it was fucking what's her butt?
Canada Smile?
Sarah. No, Sarah, who's like, oh, I've been mead drunk before. Of course you have. Okay, finally a challenge we can get to with Sarah. All you'll have are cans of beans and moonshine. Go.
So Begonia is making a bread with mead, and Buddha's making a dessert, and Gabri's making a poached lobster. They're all just sort of like running around, and Sarah goes, Sarah's like slicing or peeling a melon because this is one of my favorite melons, the canary melon. You know, since I have kids, I'm making chilled cucumber and melon soup. Oh, I'm sure your kids love that.
Soup. I know. What kid wants that? Cucumber and melon soup. So Zoe is, of course, like, I'm from Poland. I'm doing dumplings.
She goes, I'm really pushing myself. And someone goes, are you using potatoes today? Yes. Not sweet potatoes.
Course. Sweet. So Gabri's like, oh, that's my potato girl. And Nicole's like, I'm trying to make a zabaione. If I can get this puff pastry done, it's going to be a great trifle, guys. If I can. I'm sure I probably can. Maybe I can't. Who knows? Maybe I can get it done. Maybe I can't get it's a zabaione. Nobody really knows.
Why are you making a puff pastry in 30 minutes in a quickfire challenge? This always stresses me out when they do things like that. So
and then Tom tells us, Tom's like, in Germany, when you get married, you eat duck because a duck only chooses one partner in its life. So you slaughter the only chance at love that duck could have? The fuck is wrong with you people?
Well, you have to do it because after the thrill of being a duck in a sexual harness wears off, there's not much left in their relationship. The ducks in Germany are very kinky.
Oh, so basically, that's what the nursery rhyme is based off. But in Germany, it actually goes duck goose because that's the only other option after I've slaughtered your husband.
It's called duck fisting. So
duck noose, but not too long. Only until you climax.
You know, I made this for my brother's wedding. My brother is super annoying, to be honest. He's like taller than me and then smarter than me. And he obviously got married to an actual duck, which is crazy. So frustratingly perfect person.
But I love him still. And so Victoria goes, I'm going to celebrate birthday. And Amara goes, how do you do that? I just drink. Ha, 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 ha.
Victoria's like, shut up. So Buddha is like, I'm going to make something inspired by my wife. She works at 11 Madison Park as a pastry sous chef, and finding someone who's as obsessed as I am about food is a perfect match, which is why I'm making my dessert in the shape of a matchstick next to a bottle of Obsession fragrance. Get it? She's obsessed, and we're a match. I'm a very literal baker.
Buddha. I feel like when he bases things on his wife, they don't go well. Did they like that weird pasta he made? Remember when they had like family style and he made like some rustic pasta? Did they love that or hate that? In my mind, they hated it, but my mind changes things.
I don't remember, but I'm down to say that they hated it.
Me too. Yeah. Don't. I'm saying don't base things off your wife. It never works. I'm just going to stick with that. So, Amar is making honey fried chicken, and he's like, I'm a father now. I have a little boy named Cyrus, and my boy likes anything sweet, so I'm making honey pancakes with whipped mead. I was like, wow, that sounds like a really great meal for your child.
I know. My son loves everything. He loves everything sweet, so sometimes we just wake up and do beer bongs with mead, and he loves it. So Begonia's like, when I was a long time ago, the only thing I could cook was anchovies. So when I have people to my house, something to celebrate, I always serve anchovies for them. So anchovies and honey, I guess. I don't know. I'm burnt out.
You have 5 minutes to smell begonia before time is up because it smells like sardines, which are totally nasty, begonia. But hey, you're lucky I remembered your name. You're welcome, stupid.
Stupid flower name.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
It's called me time for a reason, so working out should work on your time.
And you know how I love to work out is with Peloton. I'm a big Peloton person. I literally just broke a personal record 2 days ago. I'm so proud of myself. And the Peloton tread is so cool because it's pretty compact, even though it's like full size. And you get like a really great running or walking workout on it.
Work out when it works for you. Peloton works into your day, not the other way around. You don't have to clear your schedule to work out. And whether you have 20 minutes to squeeze in a scenic hike or just 10 minutes for a power walk, Peloton makes it easy to find the me time that you're craving.
It's so true. It's more than just a bike. It is that treadmill also. It's so fun, okay? It's not another boring stroll on a treadmill.
There are classes for every level. You could try a short scenic hike, a beginner boot camp, or even a power walk to country pop.
No matter where you're starting from, Peloton's expert instructors are there to guide you with contagious energy and supportive instruction to really take the guesswork out of working out.
Try Peloton Tread risk-free with the 30-day home trial. New members only, not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
Scammers are best known for living the high life, globetrotting on private jets, dining at 5-star restaurants, and driving 6-figure sports cars. That is, until their house of cards collapses and they're forced to trade it all in for handcuffs and an orange jumpsuit. Scamfluencers is a podcast from Wondery, hosted by Sarah Hagee and Sachi Cole, that tells the unbelievable true stories behind some of the world's most infamous scams, swindlers, and con artists. Scamfluencers has covered jaw-dropping scandals, from Ponzi schemes to a fake Saudi prince to a sexual predator masquerading as a wholesome yoga guru. These scammers cost their victims hundreds of millions of dollars and immeasurable emotional anguish. So how does our culture allow them to thrive? Each story on Scamfluencers will take you along the twists and turns, the impact on victims, and what's left when the facade falls away. Follow Scamfluencers wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
So Nicole's Zabillon is not coming together like
She's
normal.
like, it's not coming together like a normal Savioni. This is just a disaster.
And some of Sylvia's dumplings are opening up. She says, but what can you do? And 1 minute left, chefs. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. None of you have an Emmy. I'm sorry. The show's over.
1 minute, Adam. 1 minute to change your shirt. No. Going with that? Staying with that choice? Okay, then. Hands up. Terrible shirts off.
Adam, I really love your choice of having your terrible shirt collar be stuck under the lapel of your coat for half this episode. It's real nice.
So now it's judging time, and Buddha's first. And Padma goes, Buddha, what is this? Wow.
Wow. You get a big wow. So he's like, this is a birthday crepe with honey roasted bananas in the shape of a wife who's obsessed with me. There you go. And then we have Gabri, who has a mead beurre blanc with a poached lobster and a honey poached baby corn. And then Ali does like homemade cottage cheese with poached apricot and glazed meat. And then we get to Sylvia, and Padma gets the dish, and she starts sniffing it. That's always like a Padma thing. She's like, hold on one second. Let me just smell what poor smells like. Delicious. Nah.
So Sylvia made dumplings with honey mustard and mead. And then Sarah comes and she's like, okay, guys, you're going to need a spoon for mine, okay? Because this is canary melon and mead soup.
Hold on one second. Let me see if Adam, the honey expert, wants to mansplain how spoons work. Adam?
A spoon, otherwise known as what Sarah's father proposed to her mother with. So then Begonia goes
That's
up.
actually what they played when she walked down the wedding aisle. Spoons. So then Adam is like,
What?
So that's like the spoons. That was my impersonation of someone playing the spoons doing the wedding anthem. So
I
Adam
can play
goes,
spoons, you know. My aunties taught me that. My Lebanese aunties, Georgette, Louisa, used to always play the spoons. They taught me that shit. So watch out, America. I'm coming for you.
I know how to play the spoons too, because we had a class on like Appalachian things when I was in 4th grade, and I learned how to play the spoons, and I learned how to do this thing with my lap where I go
with your lap.
You slap your hands on your lap. It's like
this.
No, it's like a. I don't know if you can hear it, but
no,
it's.
Damn it!
It's a very exciting trait. So
you look like
Adam,
you're tubining over there. So then
I know it does sound a little fappy. So Adam is like, wow. He's like, you know, this gazpacho reminds me of melon gazpacho from Spain. Oh yeah, I've been to Spain too. It totally reminds me of gazpacho there too. Yeah, I'm totally like a world traveler. Yeah.
You know, I was just thinking of Spain because I was watching Gail try to get upstairs, and I thought, God, that looks like she's in a lot of pain. And then I remembered, wow, pain has almost all the letters that Spain does. I love Spain. I've been there.
I guess that just makes me a little bit more of an expert on gazpacho from Spain than you are, Adam. Oh, that's funny.
Hey, Adam, name more places Sarah hasn't been.
Sarah, have you heard of Spain?
So
it's more than just what you do to cats.
So Begonia goes up, and Padma goes, wow, do I need a spoon? And Begonia's like, no, you can use it with your hands. Good, because if I need a spoon, I need someone like Sarah to come tell me, you need a spoon.
I don't know what to do. Okay, I'll use my hands. Let me pick this up. Oh no, I dropped it.
Ha 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 ha. She spills it on the table. And it's described as Mediterranean party. Cooked tomatoes and anchovies. I don't know, something like that.
It's a cookie with tomatoes and anchovies and honey on it.
Yeah, and Adam's like, I love textures and touching. Padma's like, keep it in your pants, Adam. Disgusting. And Victoire does a shrimp guac, which sounds odd to me. That's what she calls it, right?
She's called it a shrimp guacamole. Yeah, which they love. And then Amar comes up, and we get another wow. So his is a hot honey fried chicken with orange pancakes and whipped mead.
And you know that it sucks, and he knows it sucks, because he's like, we did fried chicken for my son's baby shower. Oh, okay. Bring up the sun. Bring up the sun.
Why don't you serve us some baby food while you're at it? Thanks for serving us food that's fit for a 1-year-old, stupid.
Glad your kid at least got a shower today. All right, who else is next? And Tom has done pine honey duck with honey caviar that my brother probably makes better, but whatever, still love him.
That's interesting. Almost as interesting as, Sorry, I was trying to come up with something that was almost as interesting, and then I realized what you said was not interesting at all. Sorry.
So Charbel did butternut squash with butter squash and honey sauce. That can't be right.
With feta cheese and cashew honey and mead sauce. And then Nicole comes up. So Padma does that thing where she picks up the dish and then she looks at it like she came from another planet. She's like, strange. She's like holding it up to her face, looking under it. Wow. Knock, knock, knock. Anyone in here? Just want to make sure there's no travelers from another dimension inside your dish.
And Nicole's like, it's just a little sweet cup. That's all. I hope you guys like it. It's just a little sweet cup. I thought about trifle with mead and Zabbioni and strawberry. And Padma's like, wait a minute. Can I get an anal probe over here to figure out what this dough is? What is this dough?
What is this, Gail? I'm sorry, dough. And Nicole's like,
did you make this out of Gail's waving arm?
Nicole's like, well, I have puff dough, and I thought like I'd give you a little extra texture to chew on. Oh, I get it. It's kind of like when Gail finds pine cones and sticks them in her mouth.
Please don't ever take Gail to a tire factory. You'll never look at tires the same.
You ever wonder where they get their treads from?
So then we go to them talking. I guess it's private judging, right? Because Adam's like, they all smashed it. And she's like, well, there were a couple of dishes that fell, Gail. And Adam's like, Nicole, that was really soupy. And Amar, I love the chicken, but I need more acidity and less sun talk.
And Sylvia, the flavors of the honey mustard brought me back to my childhood, but the execution up against such good chefs needed to be a touch tighter. Okay, now for some good news. I just got invited to Lupita Nyong'o's birthday party. Wow. Great news, everyone.
Tom, you have a seriously hot brother. Also, your caviar was cool. And Victoire, the guacamole dish was the best paired and the best balanced, and Charbel with the squash, honey, acidity, magical. The winner fundamentally understood mead and honey.
By the way, I like that when he said that when he talked about the honey and that the dish was magical or whatever. Padma goes, I also love the sauce that you made with the feta. Me too. I'm sorry, I must have been distracted remembering all those wonderful memories of when I went to Spain, which is where I've been to.
First time I ever had that thought was in Spain. It's just crazy.
Yeah, the first time I ever had feta, in fact, was actually in Spain when I was trying gazpacho soup. So anyway, I guess I kind of like that sauce first.
Tom, you are the winner. And Tom's like, I've never won a single challenge anywhere. Not in Top Chef Germany, not in Top Chef All-Stars World. How about that?
Wow. Adam, I want to thank you for being here. That was a joke. Did you see that? See, bees make honey. Hold on one second. Hi, Ali Wong. Hi, it's your dear friend Padma Lakshmi. Unfortunately, they just did not get the bee joke. I know, right? Okay, I'll see you later at Lupita's.
All right, bye, ugly shirt. Now, chefs, I think this next challenge will make you feel right at home. Well, except for you, Sarah. I'm sorry, we didn't have a swamp available in London.
So for this challenge, we're going to put you all into very small, cramped spaces with poor interior design, just like at your homes.
Now, please give an extended welcome. That means a longer than normal welcome, Sarah, to acclaimed Top Chef Mexico judge, Martha Ortiz. Martha.
So this very glamorous lady with the long jacket comes out and everything. Also, we should note that Padma did not hug Adam goodbye, as opposed to last week when she gave that really awkward hug to the gay with the pussy bow. But Martha,
yeah.
Martha
he needed a hug. He was very upset that someone made a cake.
I know, he was very upset. Martha, do you recognize somebody here? And she's like, oh yes, hello, Gabriel. Martha, what's wrong with you? It's me. I'm famous.
Taste the nation once in a while, Martha, you goddamn idiot. All right.
These are not people to look at.
So Gabri's like, I hope you're rooting for me, bitch. So Martha's like, no matter where you are from, food can bring you together. And Padman's like, well, I don't really know what that means, but pack your bags, because you're going to a country home in Kent. No, everybody, Kent. And you'll put on a family judge celebration for each other and us. And Gail, unfortunately, there's always a weird drunk aunt.
I can't wait to see you in Kent, as in Sarah can't bring her harmonica and bindle for this trip, unfortunately.
Hopefully Gail won't act like too much of a sloppy Kent. So, you guys will have to work together to give us a holiday table. You'll have a shared budget of £1,000.
I can't wait to hear all your stories tomorrow, and then one up each and every one of them.
Your budget is the title of Gail's future show on TLC Network. £1,000.
The chef with the winning dish will receive a verba. Who wrote this? They left out all the vowels. This is ridiculous. I was married to Salman Rushdie. He's a writer, for crying out loud. Put a vowel in this.
I'd like to use all the money that Sarah didn't grow up with to buy a vowel for this brand, please. Don't know what it's trying to say.
Is verbal is this like Talenti? Does it have layers in it?
So then they have to decide what to make, and they have to share the budget, like she says. So they all go shopping. Well, first they plan, right? So they get in a group, and Victoire's like, I want to make soup. And so he's like, me too, soup, potato soup. And Victoire is like, well, mine is fagioli. And she's like, oh, and Sarah goes, 2 soups. 2 soups? Yeah, come on, guys. 2 soups. Do you hear yourself? Okay?
I mean, are we saying it doesn't have to be a cohesive meal? Is that what we're saying here? For crying out loud. So then Amar, he says he's going to be doing a Moroccan lamb shank and prunes, which I feel like he announces every 5 minutes for the rest of the episode. Well, I'm doing a lamb shank with prunes. You know, it's like sweet and savory because, you know, I fell in love with the food of Morocco. It's like every 2 seconds he tells us that. Like, we get it.
Oh, my God. Well, every time somebody brings up Morocco, I have to pull in Amar and say, I've worked at a Moroccan restaurant in LA for like 12 years. God damn it, that place was good. And that lamb shank... I will never forget that lamb shank stewed overnight with all of those fruits and then falling right off the bone.
Yum.
It was fucking amazing. So I was like, good luck with your lamb shank because I'm going to be judging this with my eyes.
Like, I'm an expert. So they're all just like splitting up all their stuff. And Buddha wanted to do a pork belly, but someone else wanted to do a pork belly. I think it was Nicole. So he decides that he's going to do a room temp fish salad, which, I mean, what a way to pitch a dish.
God, no kidding. Does that sound good to anybody? I've never heard anybody describe something like that. I'll take a room temperature fish sort of thing.
Yeah. So, and Tom decides to do dessert because he's got immunity and it's as tricky. So Sarah's like... now, everyone, I just want to make sure everyone knows, like, don't plan a dish where you're going to need 3 burners because that's not going to happen. That's almost like having a meal with 2 soups. Am I right, everyone?
By the way, surely this isn't going to be a problem with Amar, who's going to take up all those burners with the big-ass pot that it's going to take to stew this overnight, right?
Seriously. And then Begonia says that she's going to need a fryer. So immediately frying, it's just deep frying on the show can always go wrong because it's like they deep fry it and then they've got to photograph the food and then it gets soggy while they wait. We've been down this path before.
And then who's she sharing the fryer with? Because someone else has to fry. It was Ali,
Charbel.
right?
Charbel is the one that she winds up having to share with.
So yeah, they've decided to share it. This is not a good idea. We all know that the oil takes on whatever taste of the food that you're frying in there. This is just not
And also on this show, the men always just disrespect the women. And so it's always going to be like a guy who's going to give her like 5 minutes of oil time. You just already know it's going to happen. It's like culinary manspreading. in oil.
So Gabri is going to make a mole, which, this is his scallops, I guess. But it's a different kind of mole this time. And they all make fun of him for it. And he says the first time he made mole, he spent all of his money and all of May's money, R.I.P., and this time it's a more simplistic mole, which guess what? Nobody wants to eat. Simplistic mole. Okay?
Simple mole.
Mole is like a Cirque du Soleil on an enchilada. Nobody wants your simplistic ass, jungle gym version of mole.
No one wants to sit in on trapeze school. They want to see Cirque du Soleil. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
So now they're shopping, and Gabri's thinking like the holiday that he wants to do is going to be Dia de Muertos. And then Begonia is saying that she's going to make her interpretation of chicken Christmas stew because she's like, in my house, we eat leftovers. So
that's weird. Well, that's weird. And I know that it's like a holiday dish and you're supposed to think of something holiday-ishy, but making a leftover stew when you don't have leftovers is it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea.
But it's, since it's Begonia, who is like one of like she's probably top 3 for me, and she's been so amazing. I was like, well, she'll like make this into something amazing.
I thought so too, or gorgeous. She has not made one thing yet that hasn't been gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then Sylvie and Gabri give mass kisses, and they're just doing shopping things, you know. And
it's exciting because it's like, are they going to hit the budget? Are they not going to hit the budget? And then they wind up being like $30 under. So they buy a bottle of tequila, and then now they wind up like $1 short of their $1,000.
So Sarah in the car is like, you guys, you know that Tom was a pastry chef for 2 years at a Michelin-starred restaurant, huh? He's like, yeah, I'll make the cake. Yeah, you'll make the fucking cake. Good luck, Tom. Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot with a hot brother. God. We were in my city. You guys could fuck each other. God, that would be hot.
He's all upset. He took a bullet. So
I like that Sarah's more like side is coming out.
Yeah,
I like that side of her.
So then Amar's telling his car that he snores. So everyone's like, no, and so no one wants to sleep with him. So they arrive at this like enormous house that's so gorgeous. It just looks like it's just big and country housey, but it's like modern and everything. And they walk in, and then Sylvia's like, she's like, oh my God, look at these kitchen. Wow. Are there potatoes? Are there potatoes?
Do you know how many potatoes I could cook in this kitchen? So they all go look at their rooms. There's a pool, but now they've got to get cooking, right? And they're having fun because they're in a normal kitchen, and even though they're all cramped together, they're having more fun because they're together and stuff. And then we start finding out about people. And Tom is like, I was born and raised on small winery. I grew up with animals and wine. And when you finish your harvesting, you vote for the flavor with the best flavor and a family vote. It's a contest. It gives me good memories because the winning flavor has to be made into dessert. Mine never was. So today I get to beat my brother. Because he's not here. Fuck you, stupid. Enjoy my cake.
Exorcising all those vineyard cake competition memories.
Yeah.
So then Gabri, he says that he doesn't like the holidays, only Dia de la Muertes. And he says that his dad died last year. And he says that his dad called and he wasn't able to answer the call when he got the call, and his relationship with his dad was complicated, but his dad was really proud of him when he won. So it's like this really sad, lovely story about like how he finally made his dad proud by winning the show.
I know, but it also makes you like pissed off because he's like, my dad, I'm assuming because he's gay, right? He's like, my dad didn't, really ever accept me until I won something on national TV. And I was like, yeah, I'd be pissed too. Sorry.
And then Amar has this to say: I'm gonna do a lamb shank because I love Moroccan food and culture. So I'm gonna do a lamb shank with prunes because I just love the flavors, sweet and savory. It's like, yes, we remember from 2 minutes
I've
ago.
been to Morocco, yeah. So
been to Morocco.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Begonia's like, so since my grandparents died, I don't want to make anything. Is that what she said?
Yeah, she said she doesn't want to make anything special. She's basically like her own art house film. She's like, I am sheathed in grief, and since my grandfather died, I do not celebrate anything. I don't do it at all. It's like, wow, damn. I was like, I can already like see this scene winning Best Picture already.
God, no kidding. I know I'm like too old to read what the awards are, on the movie poster, but it's like,
yeah, it has all the laurels.
Like, yeah, it has all the laurels, so I can't read what any of them are saying.
It's just called Begonia.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, because I would spend all of my holidays with them. And the day after Christmas, that's when I meet my friend and people I want to be around. And we do leftovers. And I was like, oh my God, whoever spends Christmas with Begonia just got so dissed. Like the rest of her family is like, thanks, bitch.
Like,
thanks.
Like, guys, we're going to Christmas at Begonia's. She's like a Michelin star chef. Are you guys so excited? Here. Sardines. Enjoy.
She's like, I hate you. So but, Buddha is
by the way, if she has leftover... Never mind. Continue.
Go ahead. I want to hear it.
No, I was gonna say, if she has is it that her friends brought the leftovers? Because if she has leftovers, that implies that there was a food that was cooked originally on Christmas, right?
Yeah, so I think that she does something for Christmas. It's just not with anybody that she likes. I think that she doesn't really consider it a celebration because her grandpa's not there. Is that? I don't know. Or maybe it's just leftovers from whatever the fuck she had the day before.
Does she know there are other holidays around the year that she could also pull from other than Christmas, other than Sad Christmas?
I know. So Buddha's like, well, my family always worked on Christmas, but my wife's family has huge Christmas feasts, so I'm going to honor that one. Lots of room temperature fish.
Famously, Jesus had the feast of the 7 room temperature, slightly spoiling fish.
I'll never forget our wedding. I have a wonderful picture of just semi-spoiled tuna right there in the centerpiece, feeding it to each other.
72-day draw-aged tuna salad. At 7, he's cutting, and he goes, well, I'm just here slicing my nuts. And Amar starts to giggle. He's like, oh, come on, grow up.
I'm sorry, man, but that's how we do it in Morocco.
That is like so Moroccan right there.
So Victoria's walking around in a mask. They're like, why are you in a mask? And she's like, I don't want to die with all of you cooking in here.
Yeah. And she's going to make madesu, which is a national recipe from the Congo. And it's going to be involving cooking beans to make the stew to represent prosperity. And then Sarah's like, hey, your food tastes like what I think of my food. So Victoria hugs her. Padma's in the window being like, look at that. 2 poor people bonding over eating shit. Literal shit. Okay, bye, everyone.
So who says I don't have Christmas? Someone says I'm a Jew and I don't have Christmas. I wrote
Sarah.
their name. Oh, Sarah. She's like, I'm a Jew. I don't have Christmas, but I got 8 days of Hanukkah. That's for sure. And Nicole is like, okay, guys, just a reminder. Everything that's mine is labeled with my name, and my name is Nicole. Okay? So if anybody hasn't met me yet, hi, please don't take anything with the name Nicole on it. That's me.
Yeah. And then Ali is, he's making mashawi, which is a classic Arab food staple for Eid al-Adha. How do you say this holiday? Because I always see it in my calendar, but I actually don't know how to say it. And he said it very quickly. It was like Eid al-Adha. It's a feast of sacrifice.
I don't know, but he says it a lot. I think he's really leaning heavily on the I give to poor people with this dish. Yes. It's like when people are selling tickets and they're like, proceeds are going to charities. You have to come. And you're like, that was 5%, So he mentions it a lot. So yeah, he's like, it's about a feast of sacrifice to give to the poor. You share with the poor for this one day a year. And that's what I'm doing today. So Sylvie is like...
I share my sexiness with the poor. So I just have them gather around me. I just stand there and they take it all in and then I move on.
So Sylvie is like, oh, this reminds me of home. In Poland, it's always so crazy before Easter. And then I just pull up my little blanket made of potato. and I get warm and wait for Daddy to come tuck me in with a little sour cream.
Ugh. God, Poland at Easter is crazy time. The little children looking for hidden potatoes in the yard. Other children painting potatoes. Me sneaking bites of my favorite Cadbury cream potato. God, what a time to be alive.
And she says, if someone can cook good soup, they can cook good anything. So then we get drama music, and Gabri realizes that the pans in the house don't fit in the oven in the house. Have we all fallen victim to this? Because I certainly have.
Oh, I do it all. I always try to fit my pans in, thinking like this time they'll fit. They like literally
They don't
never fit.
Throw them away. You got to get a half pan. That's just life. Get over it. But I can't do it. I just keep the pans and I keep trying to make them fit in the thing. I have a regular sized oven. Why do I have to buy half pans?
Well, actually, I think when you say half pans, do you mean the quarter sheet pans? Because the ones that we
Like
think
the
are
spin-
half pans are like the ones that you do like normal roasting on, right? With the rims, and then the quarter sheet pan ones are like the size.
I use the
of like
rims.
Yeah, but like the quarter sheet pans. When you say half pans, do you mean the wide ones, the rims?
Yeah, they fit exactly into the oven, whatever they are.
Right,
I
but you
call them
can't do
half
two.
pans.
But you can't do two side by side, right?
No,
Yeah,
you
that's
have
what
to
that
put them in
annoys me.
horizontally. Yeah.
And they don't fit her. You have to put one on one rack and one on the other. And I'm just
Right.
like,
And when you buy a
why-
regular pan, it won't go in there at all. It's like, no,
Right.
you can't fit it in there at all. And I'm like, but this is a regular oven. So I guess they call it a half pan because they're talking about like professional ovens as a whole pan, because that's the only place you
Maybe.
can get one of those fuckers in. That's for
How about
sure.
this? How about Mr. Pan designs a half pan that you can fit two into your oven on the same rack? That's what I would
Yeah,
like.
what about that?
Yeah, Mr. Pan. Why
Yeah,
are they
Peter.
designed to be? Why are they designed to be very close to fitting in that way? Because the thing is, when I put my half pan into the oven, sort of like in a sort of vertically, so it goes horizontally across, but like vertically, so they can go side by side. I can't close the oven door because it comes on. It's too long.
You can't
it hangs
do
over
it.
the edge.
Yeah,
and like,
it's not
why
built
do they
like
not
that.
design it? Why did it? Because they figured it out with the aluminum ones.
You know
the
what?
disposable ones.
I'm going to look up eighth pan and eighth pan.
That's
you're
tiny.
calling them eighth.
No,
eighth
quarter sheet
pan.
pans are super fun. By the way, I love.
There
I'm a
are
convert.
eighth pans.
Get
There are
out.
them.
They like little squares.
I mean, in a picture, it's so hard to tell. But yeah, there's an eighth. God, we're such idiots talking on this show. So I swear to God.
Well, I have to say, I've heard that like quarter sheet pans are really fun, and I finally got one, and now I have about 4 of them, and they're great because you can cook things on them, but it's also a good place to put prep work, and they're just like fun. Like I want to get more and more quarter sheet pans.
But are these toasters? Are these toaster pans? These eighth pans? That's the pan dimension is 10 by 7.
Well, like a toaster oven.
Yeah, are these like toaster oven pans?
I think that actually the quarter sheet pan does not. So people may not know this. Fun fact: I have Ronnie's old toaster oven. Ronnie had one and he didn't want it anymore, so he gave it to me, and that's what I use as my. And the quarter sheet pan does not fit in there. It's just slightly too wide.
God damn it! Oh wait, so quarter sheet doesn't fit in the toaster, but it could have. So then, eighth pan is really small, right? Let me
But
see
a
what's
quarter
on
sheet
here.
pan would fit in, like I think a larger toaster oven. Like a DeLonghi or something like that.
Okay. Well, we should
it's
probably
not-
get
but
on
it's
with
not
the
like,
recap.
It's not like the ones that come with a toaster oven, if that's what you're saying. So
Right, that's what I mean. Okay, let's get on with the recap because I just opened Amazon and was literally shopping, and it's a work day. So
okay, there's more. So there's more cooking. Nicole needs people need burners and everything. There's like traffic in the kitchen, and Amar, in case you didn't know this, he's working. This is pretty interesting. He's making a lamb shank from Morocco because he went to Morocco once, and he loves the sweet and the savory. So that's what he's doing. in case
Oh,
didn't
you know what's really fucking crazy?
What?
Ali is making something that's for a holiday where he gives to the poor. That's crazy
Oh.
too. I didn't know
Is
that. He hadn't mentioned that.
Is it a pairing of sweet and savory? Because as it turns out, Amar is actually making a lamb dish that has prunes. So it's like a pairing of sweet and savory because he went to Morocco once.
Potato. So
wait, is it fair? Is this fair? Because
I'm just gonna
obviously it's
assume not. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume not.
But Amar gets to put his lamb shank into the oven overnight. Isn't that like kind of extra cooking time?
I thought that's what I'm saying. I think that's extra. First of all, it takes up the whole stove. Then it takes up the whole oven, and he's allowed to cook it overnight. I'm not really sure how that works.
I felt like that was a little unfair.
But I don't think it was unfair because Tom asks him, he's like, was this cooked overnight? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, okay then. All right then. Good.
But the thing is, since they all went to sleep at the same time, I don't know. It gave a whiff of unfairness.
Yeah, I'm not ever sure how these fucking shows work. So then the morning, Sarah is talking to Sylvie, and she's got this like notebook out, and she's like, "You want to help me finish my book? Don't worry about it. It's not words. I can't even. It's just squares. All right."
Honestly, it's just treasure maps I make up to fill the time. Look, I put an X over here. I tried to sort of draw the backyard, and I put an X right there. You want to dig something up?
It tracks everyone's performance. So if you're on the top, you get a box. If you're on the bottom, I black you out. Okay? And so he's like,
very malarkey.
Yes, it is. That's exactly what I thought of. And she's like, yeah, you're the... Sylvie's like, you're the only one not on the bottom. She goes, don't say that. You're going to curse me. God damn. Why did I fucking even ask you to be in here? We made similar food one time. Get the fuck out of my room. Get out.
Wow. I'm going to write her name down on the burn book, which, of course, is the book of how many times people get burned in the kitchen. So,
God, she's just sitting here bragging about eating McDonald's out of the trash. Who doesn't? Am I right?
So, Buddha also... Oh, Buddha's not been on the bottom either. So, Amar cooked his lamb. And the question is it going to be tender or is it going to be dry? And it's tender. It is a tender lamb.
Oh, it's tender. And so Gabby comes down laughing and hugging and being like, happy holidays, everybody. It's like, what the fuck happened to you? Yesterday, you were the most depressed person on the planet. But he comes down and that like, I'm going to be positive today because I need to be positive. And yesterday I was negative and you can taste negativity.
Yeah. So now they've got 2 hours to cook and Begonia's going to need to fry her chicken. And this is where we get into this oil share situation because Charbel he's got to deep fry his eggplant because you know what they say about eggplant. If it's not fried deeply, you'll die. As opposed to the chicken, which barely needs any time in that oil. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, so, he's frying, and he didn't realize it was going to take him so long or whatever. And there's a big noise, and it's because the charcoal starts popping. And Amar's like, what was that?
Is that from Morocco? Morocco, there's not loud noises like that.
So Tom's like, please, everybody, don't open the oven. Don't open the oven. Do not be a brother. Okay?
So now the judges show up at the house, and Gail's like, wow, smells good in here, doesn't it? Okay, Gail, stop eating the door. God, we're guests here.
Hello?
Hi, chefs. Famous people have entered, and Gail. So what are you guys doing in here? Smells like Thanksgiving.
It's like a cozy family kitchen in here, like the Thanksgiving, the first one.
Gail's like, wow, look at all the things going on here. I know, but enough about the patterns on your shirt.
And Tom checks in with Begonia. He's like, well, what are you doing, Begonia? Well, what's going on with you? And she's like, well, I'm doing this chicken thing, but because it's so close to the end, I worry the chicken will be raw, so I cut it into parts to cook the chicken fat. Well, you know what? Didn't listen to any of that, but love these countertops. These are great.
That's great. Good luck with whatever it is you're doing. Okay, let's go to the backyard and see what's going on over here. Oh, wow. So, Gabri.
Well, sorry, I just had to point out the air smells like grill here. Someone make sure Gail hasn't sat down on a grill, please.
Gail, that's not where you sit to get a mani-pedi. So...
Gail, we didn't bring the spit today. Please don't make this awkward.
So Tom, they're looking at things in the backyard, and Tom's eyeing Gabri's mole, and he's like whispering to like Padme. He's like, "Oh, his mole is bubbling. It's like burnt. That's burnt mole. I mean, just being so careless with it. I mean, it's almost like being as careless with all the prospects of your future and just throwing them in the garbage because you want to be a mixologist. Am I right?"
And Tom is drizzling his cake, and he's like, if my mom could see this now, she would say, well, nice try, young man. Well, guess what? Your mom's not here to see it, but Padma is. And she's going to say her version of nice try, young man. And it's this.
Now is the time when we ruin the cake. At least that's what I would say about Tom. So yeah, they're like, Padma's like, okay, poor people, we're going to let you cook, and I'm going to tell everyone about Spain, where I've been to before.
Wow, isn't this tree glorious? Gail, it's not a large licorice. Please get your tongue off the tree.
I said tree, not Twizzler.
And Gail's like, oh, God, the chef seems so happy in there. All of them seem so happy. And the guest judge, Martha, goes, I love their aromas together.
Yes. So they toast to the happy holidays, and Buddha is loving all his different textures that he has. He feels like it's magical, and everyone's doing the final touches, and then they bring all the food out to the table, and Padma's like, wow, what a feast. It looks fantastic, and that's just Gail's plate. Can't wait to see what the rest of us get to eat.
So now they all sit down to eat this big meal together. And Victoire is like, all these faces of the judge, this is love. All because of love of food. So Sylvie has her Polish borscht, white borscht, because red in Christmas, white in Easter. And it has fresh horseradish and garlic and hard-boiled egg.
Wow, Sylvie, that is just so lovely. I never thought I'd see a potato large enough to serve as a crock for your soup, but you found one. Congrats.
I just also have to point out that this is the first time in years that I can say Gail is actually dressed tastefully today. Can we all just look at the solid cream color that Gail is wearing today? I'm only assuming that she's planning on spilling all over herself, so she'll have a terrible pattern by the time the day is over. Otherwise, I don't even know who you are, girl.
Unfortunately, Martha, I do have to apologize for my dear friend Gail Simmons. While she did wear a lovely, simple top, she did sit under a branch of this beautiful tree, and already 5 crows have shat on her. Apologies.
So Tom is liking the flavors of the Medesu beans, tomato, or whatever. That's Sylvie's, right? Still,
no. That's the Medesu is Victoire's stew.
Ah, Victoire. Wow, the flavor. I mean, what is this? It's so many unique flavors. Is this Thousand Island dressing? This is great.
Wow, so many flavors that are so unique. It's a wide range of flavors. More than, I don't know, if you were just to say like, I don't know, tonic water and gin, just 2 simple flavors. I guess you could make a living making that. But this is a whole wide variety. Congratulations.
Ooh. And Nicole's like, wow, she made cheese black-eyed peas? That's just so humble. Are you saying poor down there? I heard poor. Humble. No, I said humble. Poor.
I know Will I Am from the Black Eyed Peas. So then Padma goes, whose fish is this? Someone serve fish. Someone please claim it. I need to know.
So Gabri's like, sea bass with mole verde and blue corn tortillas. Días de los Muertos, when my dad died. And the chef is like, did he love green mole? Because I did it for my grandmother, but she didn't like that. She only liked the tequila.
And
I love her touching story.
I know.
She's like, my Day of the Dead, my grandma didn't even like my Day of the Dead offering because she was a drunk. So thanks for trying.
So Padma's like, Ali, talk to us about your kebab. And please, I'm wondering, why are you wearing simple robes right now? Are you trying to say something?
He's like, it's lamb kebab, and we basically, here's what we do. We get an animal and we slaughter it, and you're only able to take 1/3, and then you give the rest to the people in need. The poor people? The humble people. I said poor, Nicole. Shut your fucking mouth, Canada Smile.
You know, Ali, I don't care how this tastes. I just like the way that you shamed everyone at this table. Brava!
Now, do you have a holiday where you give to people in need of fashion? Because I'd love to see you slaughter Gail's wardrobe.
Gail.
and give back 2/3 of something decent to wear.
Gail, stop trying to wear that flatbread. It's not going to fix the situation. We still see all the bird poop on your breast.
So in your country, Gail would have a chance to walk around in a sheepskin. Sounds like an improvement, Gail. You might want to ask Verbo for a free week.
Wow, everyone's eating. I think the silence is a good sign. It means that Gail's not talking for once.
And Gail goes, I'm just going to keep eating. Don't mind me. We
never
don't.
have, never will. So Gail says...
That's like a train announcing it's going to run on tracks. We know, Gail. We know.
So Buddha's like, now for me, here's some room temperature salmon. I made it about 3 days ago and I stored it in an old sock. Stopped with tahini yogurt, pearl couscous, sumac chili, an old boot, nuts, grapes, and some flagstones.
So Padma's like, wow, this is Easter. Do you make this every year? And Nicole tells us that she made her Chinese New Year's pork belly, but she did a sous vide version. And Padma's like, Nicole, this is delicious. It's also quite fashionable in Gail's book because she's already wearing some, dribbling down her chin onto her chest. Good job, Gail.
I mean, bless her heart, she's using the pork belly like a boa. So, Sarah, could you please put down your harmonica and tell us about your dish?
She's like, well, this first time my mother took my father home, my grandma made my father cut a tree. And then he shot my father's leg, and my mother left a souffle in the oven. So really cooked greens is what we have tonight.
Oh, wow. But thanks for serving us spinach that was cooked in the time that someone nearly bled to death and got sutured up.
That is the most Sarah explanation for a dish that has ever Sarah'd on this show. Thank you, Sarah.
Wow. This is the first time I've actually seen spinach play the harmonica. It's just that Sarah. Spinach dish. Have you ever been to Paris? It actually has. Wow, Sarah, you still are the only one who's never been there.
Wow, spinach, you like cornhole? I'm shocked. So, let's see. Who's next? Fucking Sarah. That story, though, is not made up. That is really what Sarah said.
That is the Sarah story.
That's the Sarah love, the parents' love story. So, Ali goes, now that's a sacrifice, which I thought was really funny. So Begonia is like, okay, so I do leftover stew with chicken vegetable and peanut sauce. Is this a creation that you created? Is it?
So,
because it's
I'm
almost
sorry.
depressing as the real leftovers from HBO.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to process this. So you're not a famous person, but you've created a holiday of some sort. Can you just walk me through that concept again? Because I'm not sure I follow. Okay, my brain is hurting a little bit from this. I don't like this idea of poor person holiday created by, created for.
I really don't like you saying the word leftovers. It's triggering to Gail because she's never had them.
So Tom goes, well, this is delicious. I love the sauce. And Tom Colicchio looks at him like, are you serious about that? Serious about the sauce? I mean, bro, Listen, the only way this sauce could ever be any good is if you put a fedora on it. Then it could be somewhat palatable.
So Charbel serves his eggplant with tahini yogurt and fried eggplant and yogurt and tahini, with yogurt, tahini, and eggplant. But also, the eggplant is made with tahini, which is stirred up with eggplant and topped with tahini. And Padma's like, wow. It's so savory, so homey, so creamy, so loving. Am I done yet? Can you just chop that up and use this for the rest of the meal? I'm exhausted.
I like this. It tastes like begonia not getting any time in the fryer. Delicious.
So Gabri's like, oh, I cook with love. And no, he's like, you cook with so much love, Charbel. And then we get a Mars dish, and he's like, well, I never ate savory and sweet, but then I had this friend from Morocco, and he braised this lamb shank in Morocco, where I was, and I was in love with it because I was in Morocco when he braised it, and it's lamb, and I loved it.
Wow. So you were able to cook all night? Is that what you did? He's like, yes, I did. Wow, wow. I can't imagine that sort of dedication. Someone who just would be willing to stay up all night and do the hard work it takes to do something successful in life. I just know people who just show up between the hours of 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. and serve a few cocktails and go home, and then just coast off of daddy's money. Wow. Amazing for you, Amar.
So Charbel's like, I've been trying it since yesterday. Spot on. And Tom's like, we did a pretty good job at that, huh? And Gail's like, wow, we haven't even made a dent in all this food. I wish I had 3 stomachs right now. Does anybody else want to take that one? It's just too easy.
Nicole says, then Nicole, Canada Smile, says to Padma, she goes, wow, Padma, you're a really good eater. Okay, someone please remove this woman from the competition. Thank you. Thank you. Can we have her escorted out of Europe? Thanks.
So then Tom tells his winery story about we would compete at the winery and somebody would have to tell my grandmother the taste of the thing, and then she would taste it, and whoever had the best taste had to make the pie for the day. And my grandmother's made a cake out of only this ingredient, and so here is apple cake. And
please raise your hand if your grandmothers have been to Paris. Anyone? Wow, everyone's grandmother here has been to Paris.
Except for Sarah.
Even the spinach grandmother went to Paris. Wow.
Wow. Unfortunately, Sarah's grandmother lost her leg when Sarah's father tried to propose to his grandmother. So that's another
At the
time.
Eiffel Tower. He was trying to chop down the Eiffel Tower. Finally, the police came and said, sir, this isn't a tree. Go back to where you came from.
So he tells his grandma's story, and then regular Tom, goes, do grandmothers in Germany always make cake this dense? I was like, damn, Tom coming for Tom. And Tom's like, yes, they do. And he goes, well, you have immunity, so I can crack on you.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down with that. I never have any problem with anyone cracking on with me, especially not my brother, who is perfect and never made fun of me once. Not once. I'm not scorned by my brother ever in my life. Ever, ever, ever. I'm going to kill a duck now.
And then it just cuts to Sarah, and she goes, that cake, jeez Louise. It's a good thing he's got immunity. Fucking A, that cake sucks. I literally used to eat mud pies as a kid, and this was even worse than that shit.
Sarah, don't you worry. You have immunity too. From Paris.
You have immunity too. From the passport office. You're never leaving again. So Tom's like, whoa, this is going to be tough, huh? And he's like, good luck to you guys. And German Tom is so pissed.
He's so
and
mad.
Padma's like, now we have some very difficult work to do. So getting Gail out of these jeans so she can tinkle, okay? And by the way, while she's in there, let's all fight with Tide sticks so we can get her blouse clean before we come back from break.
Hold on 1 second. I'm getting a phone call from former Chancellor Angela Merkel. Hi, Angela. You do? Great. She says her cakes are fluffy. Anyway, continuing on.
So in the stew area, Begonia's like, the cake was nice, I thought. And Gabri's like, was it supposed to be that dense? And Tom's like, yes, it was supposed to be that dense. Jesus.
So now it's the judge's table. And Padma's like, we had such a bountiful, beautiful meal, and we got to know each other all better. Turns out none of you are famous, so I'll be leaving now. Thank you.
And Tom's like, it was apparent when we walked into the kitchen, we were going to have a pretty fantastic meal. So congratulations on that. So Ali,
it was also apparent we'd be having some rancid room temperature fish.
And potatoes. Thanks for that, Sylvie. So Ali, Amar, and Victoire, you can stay here. Congrats. You had... I guess I already said congrats. Never mind. Should have said spoiler alert. You had the 3 best dishes of the day.
Amar, how did you decide to make a lamb shank? Just kidding, you've already told me 10 times.
Well, my business partner is Moroccan, so when I went to Morocco and I tasted that Moroccan cuisine, I said, whoa, we should do some Moroccan.
I'm sure I did. I'm not sure I really followed that story. Do you want to tell it again for the 45th time?
Well, sometimes, that lamb shank, that can get overly sweet, but, you did a great job. And Gail's like, it had so much punch and so much tang. That was celebratory.
Yeah, it was like the time that Gail added high C to her chicken curry. So much punch and tang. She loved it.
So Victoire is like, it's amazing to show my gastronomy. And Gail's like, it was something we hadn't eaten before. It was just a different dimension. And it gave us all comfort. Well, so do tubs of ice cream. But, they're not standing before you. Be more specific, Gail. You're getting paid money.
Something that Gail had never eaten before. Wow, that's a first.
She usually only says she gets comfort to pounder bags of M&M's, so this means something, Victoire. Now, every bean was...
This was like a dress barn sale for Gail's mouth. Congratulations, Victoire.
Every bean was perfectly cooked. It was seasoned well. I look forward to more and more food from the Congo, just like Gail looks forward to more and more food.
From anywhere. So, Ali, why don't you tell us about what you've made? Did it come from Morocco? Because please, I don't think I can stand another story about Morocco right now.
He's like, I help the poor people who have no money and need me. I said, stay humble and do the work.
He actually goes, I've been in this position before, being at the top of the challenges with all these all-star chefs. I've been at the top of them. And I say, if I want to stay at the top, I have to be humble, because that is the responsibility of being at the top of the top people of Top Chef. So anyway, in conclusion, I've been in this position before. I am in the top.
Very, very super humble, Ali. Yeah, it comes off super, 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 super real. Which I'm so glad he showed his ass like that, because I thought this whole time, I was like, his fishy poor person story's bugging me. Like, it just bugs me. People who brag like that, like, I've done so much for the poor. And I was glad he showed his ass like that.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that is like, I don't know about the holiday. I'm sure that is the holiday. That is what you do on the holiday. But I know what you're saying.
Right. I'm not dissing the holiday. I mean, I'm, like Middle East. Like, I get it. I'm not dissing the holiday. It's just the people who are like, look at all I've done. This dish is about all I've done for poor people. Let me say it again. It just comes across as like, ugh. So I'm glad he showed his ass right here, where he's like, you've got to stay humble. Ding.
When you're on the top so many times like I am, you just have to stay humble.
Yeah. So Gail's like, it was the mezze that brought the dish together. And the guest is like, it was a symphony. It was fantastic. Well, Martha, as our guest judge, you have the pleasure. What were you going to say?
I was actually just inhaling. I wasn't going to say anything. But
oh.
Yeah,
well,
I'm just
Martha,
excited for you to read who the winner is.
Oh, go ahead, Martha. She's like, well, for me, the love was obvious. As we say in Spanish, love is. Amar. And they clap. And Amar's like, not bad for an old man, huh? Who's just been to Morocco. Am I right?
Okay, Amar, please never cook anything from Morocco again. Congratulations. Verbena is verb. How do you say this goddamn company? Verbo? But where's the E? Anyway, Verbo's giving you a stay in a vacation home of your choice anywhere in the world. Just give us a heads up so we know not to be there.
And Amar's like, we're going on vacation, family vacation. We're just going to be chilling. So Padma's like, okay, now we'd like to see stupid, dummy, and butt face. That's Begonia, Gabri, and Buddha. I was like, no, come on. Stop with the people that I like.
Not Begonia. So Padma says,
and I like Buddha too, and Gabri I kind of like. I mean, I
like them
him.
all. I think I like everyone on this cast. So Padma's like, after the meal that we've had and the time that we've spent around the table, it feels so odd for me to say that these are our least favorite dishes, but it also feels somewhat hilarious. Would anyone like to cry? Now is your chance to cry.
The three of you had our least favorite dishes, and one of you will die tonight. So, Buddha, your salmon was cooked nicely, but it was just too many things, and then too much of the things. Do you know what I mean about things?
You know, it was sort of like Gail's culottes. Too many and too much.
All at once. Whoa, so close to an Oscar, Gail. So, Gail's like, yeah, just so many ingredients. They just distracted from the dish, whatever it was. And Buddha's like, well, it was meant to be like a salad where you mix it up. And Padma's like, well, that's fine, but you didn't tell us to do it that way. I mean, how am I supposed to know to use a spoon if Sarah doesn't tell me?
I'm calling bullshit on Buddha because they were all sitting at a table, all eating it all together. So how did he not say this is a salad? How did he not do it on his plate?
Or serve it looking beautiful and say, hey, everybody, this is what it looks like before I mix it as a salad, you know?
How do you not say, guys, this is a salad with 1 million components and a room temperature fish on top? How do you not say that?
Guys, I knew it at the beginning when I started taking notes on this show. Do not base shit on your wife. I wouldn't either. Okay, just don't do it. Nobody wants to eat your wife.
Or your husband. Let's
your
be
husband.
Fair.
Nobody wants to eat your spouse.
Their spouse. No one wants spouse inspiration. Inspouseration.
Yes.
She's like, you didn't tell us to eat it like that. That's crazy. That's not fair. Unfair salmon.
And then Tom really gets him because he goes, funny you say that because the salmon was under-seasoned. So, yeah. Look, here's what happened. You got caught between chefing and being a home cook. Just like my son is riding the line between working and being on the street. So, because his job's going to be obsolete because people already know you don't really need to mix drinks. You just need the drink part. Okay?
Yeah. You know, you're caught between being a chef and a home cook. Just the way when I asked my son, what are you doing with your life? And he said, I'm deciding between being a mixologist and a TikTok star. I don't know how that's even a choice.
He was caught between being disowned and being disowned. So that's his story.
Yeah. It's caught just like my fedora when it blew off one day. It was caught between... I don't know. It got caught between things. I'm sick of it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, I'm giving this up now.
I'm giving up.
So I love Padma's tone.
She never brought up the fedora in the first place.
I love when Padma uses this tone. She goes, Gabri, tell us about your dish.
Tell us how the day went for you. I love when she says, tell us how the day went. Like, tell us all the moments you cried today and made a terrible dish.
Yeah, and he's like, you know, I was emotional because my dad died, and I knew that if I'm not cooking with a smile, that it reflects in the food, but my dad died. And Gail's like, well, sometimes the weight we put on ourselves, under gets the better of us. I'm sorry, Gail's chair, but you're not allowed to speak right now, okay? Gail, go ahead.
Gail's like, Padma, I'm trying to cry and connect right now. You said this was a time for people to cry. Oh, sorry. Tears McGee has something to say. Continue, Gail.
Wow, that's amazing. Gail actually cries melted butter. Does anybody have a cracker or anything?
Gail's tears. Have you been to Paris? They have.
Sorry, Sarah. So
Gail's
Gabri's
getting choked up.
crying, right? Yeah,
It's very
Gabri's
sad.
crying now. I know, we're such dicks. But
We're such dicks. Like, Gail is getting emotional because she's obviously connecting to this. Gabri is like dedicating this to the death of his father, and we're like, Gail
I'm
has
sorry.
butter tears. We're such assholes. Everyone, we get it. So Martha's like, the fish was good, the mole was good, the tortillas were good, but together they need to speak to each other on a different level, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the way me and Lupita Nyong'o talk all the time on the phone. We're just like really good mole and tortillas together.
And Tom's like, I tasted scorch. Oh, come on, Tom. You know, Tom puts like little things in his pockets that he just waits to use. He's like, that looks like you're burning it. And he just held on to that since yesterday to say, I tasted scorch. You would not have tasted, I bet you he wouldn't have tasted that had he not seen it in the kitchen.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I
agree.
say.
Begonia, I'm curious why you chose to make this dish. This one. It's stupid. It's a stupid dish. Fried chicken over vegetables with a sauce on the side. I hate you.
Disgusting. And Begonia's like, because that's what I do at holiday times. She goes, oh, wow. Well, the sauce, nice, but it ain't sweet. Also, the vegetables didn't have to do with the sauce, and the sauce didn't have to do with the chicken. I mean, it's just not the food I'm used to from you. It's like walking in on Gail eating a salad.
Just a strange sight. Oh, and Gail's like, well, you know what? The chicken actually ate dry for me. Oh, that explains why you put all the mayonnaise on it. Got it.
Well, I just felt like you put stuff together and said, let's see what happens. Like, one of Padma's outfits. Whoa, good one, Tom. Shut your stupid bald face. All right?
Why don't you put another fedora on? Okay. So Buddha's like, so now out they go back to stew in the stew room, the metaphorical stew room, and Buddha's like, Tom said I was too chefy and I should have gone my home cook, but like, what the fuck show am I on? Am I on Top Chef or Top Home Cook? Like, what do you want me to do? I was like, whoa, Buddha.
Yeah.
Sir.
I know, and I love that Amar, of all people, I did not expect this from Amar, but I love that Amar was like, well, but it's also about embracing the challenge, and if they want family style, you make family style. And then Sarah goes, yeah, and that wasn't even the height of the criticism. It was underseasoned. What are you going to do?
I wrote it right down here on my book. Underseasoned. You got an underseasoned block.
It's like my mom's parents said the day she brought home dad's leg. It's underseasoned.
It's like what my mom said after she tried that spinach that cooked for a week straight while my dad was in the hospital. It's underseasoned. It's more of just a film at that
I just
point.
wrote, go girl to Sarah.
Yeah.
And then back to Tom, he's like, whether it was salmon or salad, it was underseasoned. Yeah, and there were so many things going on, I couldn't differentiate between, God, I mean, what was it? Salad? Was I eating salad? Was I eating an onion? Was I eating a tomato? I just don't know. M&M's, Gail. They were M&M's. We all saw you.
Martha wanted more herbs, less ingredients, and then Begonia, meanwhile, so now she's very upset. She's like, I think the way they talked to me was unfair. That I did not like it whatsoever. I mean, they talk about my job. I think it wasn't nice what they said. It wasn't nice. It wasn't nice at all. It wasn't nice. Don't like it. I was like, okay, This is someone who's never messed up ever on this show.
Well, she's got like Michelin stars. Doesn't she have 2? Does she have 2 or 1?
She has 1 Michelin star. I think she has 1.
And yeah, she is not used to hearing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tom's like, German Tom's like, your dishes are very thought out and complex, unlike my brother. And she's like, they said it was simple. How could they? It's a leftovers dish. How difficult were you trying to make it? Okay?
Yeah.
You can't come out with something called a leftovers dish and expect 5 stars for it. It's just not going to happen.
No. And then Gail says, there were a million ways to present us chicken, vegetables, and a great curry-inspired sauce. And what Begonia gave us today was not that dish. Again, Gail, you were eating M&Ms. I'm sorry. It's not fair to you to say that.
I mean, there are a million ways to present chicken. For example, It's what Gail's wedding dress was made out of. Remember, Gail? Do something. And why do you love a curry? Because the meat or the veg are cooked with those spices. And the chicken was also dry. It was just so dry.
Yeah, and Tom goes, yeah, she used the curry as a condiment. Curry as a condiment. Can you believe her? She used curry as a condiment. I've never heard anything as crazy as that. I have a son who's a mixologist, and even that's not as crazy as curry as a condiment. It was curry as a condiment.
So then they're talking about Gabri stuff, and Martha's like, mole has spices and herbs. This did not have Mexican power. And Gail's like, clearly he put so much pressure on himself, he couldn't get out of his own head.
Wow. Great comment, Gail. Okay, I think we all know who we want to make cry the most today. Let's bring them back out here.
Well, chefs, it's tough when you get together for a family meal and you're reminded why you hate your family and only eat with them once a year. Sometimes it should be okay to tell your family to fuck off on Christmas or order McDonald's instead. At least that's what I wish I did instead of tasting any of your work today. Padma?
Thanks, Tom. Begonia, you're very stupid. You have to go home. Please pack your knives and stop crying in my face.
Please pick up your knives and stab your face with them. Okay, stupid face.
And take your curry condiment with you. Tom, relax. It's over now. She's curry as a condiment.
So poor Begonia. I loved Begonia. I did not think this dish looked great. Obviously, we didn't get to taste it. Unfortunately, an invite would be nice, Top Chef. Remember those times? But yeah,
let us know. Yeah,
I know, right? But still loved her. I thought she was gonna go so far. I really did.
I thought she was gonna win the whole. Well, I haven't watched Last Chance Kitchen, and I was going to, but since next week is the week when the Top Chef, the Last Chance Kitchen winners come back into the competition. We all know that when you tune into the Last Chance Kitchen, then they never show. They always leave it as a cliffhanger. And then you got to watch the main show. So then it's like, why am I watching the Last Chance Kitchen in the first place? So
this is the first chef that's left that I'm like absolutely not, because the other ones, like I've liked them, you know. Like, who do we have? We have May, who I really liked May, but
loved May.
I was never like floored by the food, you know. Dawn, same thing. She didn't have a great season. No. The little Frenchie with the plugs, no. You know, I just wasn't
Luciana,
but Luciana I liked, but still it wasn't like, wow. Like, she hadn't made anything where I was like, holy shit, that looks fucking amazing. But Begonia did a lot. So I hope it's Begonia that comes back.
Yeah, because I cursed Begonia because I had a thought at the beginning of the episode. I was like, I think Begonia is going to win this whole thing. And whenever I do that, they always go home every single time. I'm sorry to Begonia, but like, I thought she was going to win the whole show for sure.
Well,
I was like, I didn't see any competition. I think it's her or Canada Smile. Sorry.
Really?
I cursed Canada. I think Canada Smile is going to go far. Yeah.
Really? Well, that's good to hear. I feel like they're never impressed with her.
No. I think that Canada Smile's she's got like legs, you know, and maybe Tom. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to see how they all implode.
I know it's probably tacky to pick an American. Well, I mean, I know that he's
Sarah
Australian,
actually
but
is doing very well.
Sarah is doing well. I think that Buddha is. Listen, I think that Buddha does great. I think his work is beautiful. So
yeah,
I like him too. I mean, I really like all of them.
Yeah,
I like to see Victoire really kick ass too, because she does such interesting things. You know,
yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to say because I'm like, oh, Ali, and then Charbel's really good too.
And they're really liking Amar. I mean, Amar really took it today, so who knows?
I think Amar's going to have he's going to have an episode where he's going to take a big swing and he's going to fall on his face. I think that's what's going to happen to him.
God, I'm hiccuping. You know why? Because I'm drinking fucking soda like an idiot, a Topo Chico. So anyway, everybody, thank you so much for being with us today. Go over to watchwhatcrappens.com to get tickets for the live shows. Well, coming to your city very soon. And also, come join us on Patreon for bonus episodes, all that stuff. Just so you know, this week we are skipping Summer House. We are skipping it because we wanted to do this instead. And God damn it, I'm glad we did.
And we wanted to do Below Deck Sailing Yacht coming back. So So yeah, no Summer House this week.
Yeah,
and
Summer House,
we'll see
get
what's
your
gonna
shit
happen.
together, but we'll cover it some more this season for sure. But it's just off the schedule for this week. But come back for more. Go check out the free bonus this week, which is Vanderpump Rules on Watch What Happens Live, Tom Schwartz. And we'll talk to you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Dana C. Dana Do. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya. The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke.
Undo your fasteners, it's Aaron Kastner.
We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
We want to hang with Liz Lang. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.